Well, greetings, Business 10 students. This is Mr. Doucette. This is week number 5 in our 8-week course of Introduction to Business here at Chaffey College. And we're going to be looking at 2 chapters this week, Chapter 8 and Chapter 10. Chapter 8 on managing human resources and this whole area of human resources, very important. And then also in Chapter 10, we're going to be talking about world-class operations management, how these are 2 of the main areas of business. If you remember when you did the Heart of Business schematic, you had a area that was human resources, then you had the large section on the bottom, which is operations. You got to be able to do it, and of course you need the right people on board to be able to do it. So that's really what we'll be looking at this week. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and select our course here to go into our homepage for this particular course. And again, we are actually in module number 3 starting today. So we are halfway through our class this session, and so we have 4 more weeks to go, and then we will be completing our course. So make sure you stay on top of things. Some of you have fallen behind, and I just want to encourage you to catch up. Now, the only thing you can't make up in this class is the check-in assignments. Other than that, you're welcome to make up any assignment, but please don't get behind because you're going to be cramming at the end. So I just want to point out here, we're in week number 5. So that means last week you finished Chapter 6 and Chapter 9, looking at various forms of leadership as well as theories of motivation, both very important topics. You had a check-in assignment on Chapter 6 and 9 where you answered some questions right out of the textbook. You had a homework assignment looking at Theory X versus Theory Y leaders, and I kind of watched where some of you landed on that. Of course, you completed your discussion post number 2 on the puzzle of motivation. This is where Dr. Pink speaks about intrinsic motivators versus extrinsic motivators, and how intrinsic motivators are more motivating and more lasting, and those are the ones that come from within, you know, the desire to succeed, the desire to do well. And then you did your second exam, so exam number 2 on chapters 4, 5, 6, and 9. So that means we head into module number 3. Again, this is a 4-module class. Each module is 2 weeks. So as we move into module number 3, week number 5, we're looking at chapter 8, again on human resources, and then chapter 10 on operations management. Like I've been saying from the beginning, you can just select right here in Canvas on introduction, and you can basically read the book right here in Canvas by clicking the next button. You can work your way through all of the folders until you get to the coursework for week number 5, which is right here. And we have, again, a check-in assignment for week number 5. We have a homework assignment of describing a production process. And what this is I want you to describe a process of some sort. It could be something as simple as your process or steps that you take to get ready in the morning to go to work, or it could be a process that you do at work, that you do this, you do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, but you're describing a process because operations is always about processes. In fact, business is about processes. It could be how you process your customer when they walk through the door, or even all the way to how you market to them, and then how you get them to come into the door, and then how you serve them once they're there. What's the process? What's the steps that you would follow? And so I want you to think through a process. It could be anything. And I want you to describe to me that process. So I give you some suggestions in the homework assignment, but that's what the homework assignment's about. Of course, you have a quiz on the 2 chapters as well. And then you have you're going to be starting your discussion post number 3. And this will be, you have 2 weeks to do this one. And again, make sure you make an initial post this week, and then that you view and comment on other students' posts next week. And this one, we're looking at a great video by Simon Sinek. If you've never heard him before, he's an outstanding speaker. And he brings up this idea of how leaders inspire action, and how marketing today and how businesses today want to sell you, not what they do, but why they do it. And it's a really intriguing TED Talk that he did on the topic of why. And why do businesses do what they do? And that's what sells people, is their passion, their vision, their mission. And it's a really powerful TED Talk. I promise you'll remember it 10 years from now. As I did. I heard about this probably 7, 8 years ago, and I'm still using it in my classes because it's so moving. And he wrote a book on the topic. It's titled Why. and it's all about how businesses do what they do, why they do what they do versus what do they do. So you'll really enjoy that. But that's this week's work. Again, we're starting module number 3. You have 2 weeks to complete module number 3, this week and next. So please don't fall behind. If you have any issues, questions, problems, or troubles, please reach out to me. I'll do what I can to help you. I'm accessible anytime. I don't have office hours for my Chafee classes, but if you just reach out to me, I'll set up a time to meet with you and go over some things if you have any questions.